Good morning. This is Shri here, and today we're going to focus a little bit on the other side, which would be the women's bracket, the quarterfinal previews. The quarterfinal lineup is set, and let's quickly spend some time on the women's singles quarterfinal. So far, we do have um, you have Madison Keys playing against Svitolina. Then you got Emma Navarro playing against Swiatek. So there you go, two Americans. Then you got the world number one Sabalenka, and she's going to play Pavlyuchenkova. And then on the you have Coco Golf playing Badosa. So you have three American women in the top eight, and that is just great for American tennis. Just like I was talking about the men in my men's uh, quarterfinal preview, you have two American men, you have three American women in the quarterfinal matchup. This is Badosa's first trip into the quarterfinal. Let's quickly spend some time on that. Coco has been playing really well. She's had a great run this particular um, uh, Australian Open. She beat Sophia Kenin, who used to be a very good player of America in America, and then she beat the U.S. Open finalist from many years ago, Leila Fernandez, Canadian, rather easily. But the biggest test that she did face was the game against Benchik. Benchik actually won the first set 7-5, and it definitely seemed that she was going to cause a lot of problems for Goff. But when I looked at the particular game, Coco was definitely great in terms of like serving. Her serving, she had eight aces. Again, she definitely could do a lot to improve her first serve, because that's something that she would need to improve when she's playing against Badosa. Badosa is playing better. She's battled a lot of injuries, so I feel that it's going to be a good challenge for Coco against Badosa today. That's the first match we have today between Badosa and Coco. It'll be the 7:30 p.m. match for us on the East Coast. I feel that just looking at this match, again, Paula, just going quickly at Paula. Paula's had a good run. She's had some very tough matches, so she's more battle tested than Coco. Coco has got only one three-setter. But Badosa, I mean, even in the first round, she had to win a tiebreaker. She did get an easy one in the second, but and then she had to beat Kostic. It was another three-setter, and then she had to go play another tiebreaker in the fourth set against Danilovic. So I feel that just looking at this, I think Coco, every time she gets to quarterfinals, she's usually the better player. And I do think that this matchup would be in Coco's favor. So Coco will make it to the semifinals in the Australian Open. Looking at the other ones, which will be the Sabalenka match, I feel that Sabalenka has been playing lights out. I mean, she's not only just playing well, she's having fun in the Australian Open. She's having more fun than any player. I mean, she had an easy victory. I mean, she's been winning rather easily. She beat Sloane Stevens 6-3, 6-2 in the first round. And then she has consistently improved in each and every. She has not played a third set yet. She did play Andreeva. She just absolutely was just phenomenal. I got to watch a little bit of that game, and Andreeva had no answers against Sabalenka. And that's what happens. And I think Sabalenka has now made like quarterfinals in almost like last 10 or 12 Grand Slams. Just she's playing well. And I know there was a time when she had very tough time serving, but there you go. Right now, she's playing as good as any player that you can see on the tour. So I feel that just going by this, I feel like Sabalenka would emerge victorious in that half. Then we get to the American Madison Keys. Madison Keys, my apologies, playing against Svitolina. Svitolina has a unique record. I think when she plays the Russians, I think she's like 8-0 when she plays the Russians. So she won a very tough match. I mean, she beat Kudermetova very easily, 6-4, 6-1, and then She did. It is very interesting. The day that she beat Paolini, who was world number four, that's the same day that her husband Mofis beat Taylor Fritz. So one family took out two number four seeds in the world. How often can you say that? Um, she did play some very good players, like she played Dolehide, um, but Svitlina, I mean, her biggest victory was against Paolini, who's actually been playing well. I mean, she lost the first set, 6-2, but then breezed through the second and third set, 6-4, 6-0, rather easily against Paolini. She was just incredible playing that game. I got to watch a lot of the highlights there, and she was phenomenal in that game as well. So let's come to the matchup here again. Let's look at the Madison Keys. What Madison Keys did. She did play very. I got to watch this match against Rybakina. Keys won the first set 6-3. Rybakina was just great. Second set 6-1. But then Keys stayed on point. She was able to play excellent tennis. I mean, her serve was really good in that game. Even though she only aced by one against Rybakina, her first serve was way high, 70%, and that's where Rybakina really ran into trouble. She could not get her first serve in. When you have 56% first serve in, you're going to have a lot of problems. And then the break points are another critical area where Keys was much better than Rybakina. She was 5 for 9 in the break points. Again, when you look at the total points won, I mean, Madison Keys only beat Rybakina by 2 points. So, as I mentioned, I think Keys is playing well right now, and let's see if she can beat Svitlina. I definitely think, again, just like the men I was talking about, it'll be too cool to have two American women in the semifinal. I definitely think Coco Gauff is going to be there. And I do feel that Madison Keys is going to make it to the semifinal. I have this feeling she's playing really well, and she's a very consistent player. She always gets to the quarters. So I feel that Keys would eventually prevail. So there you go. You have two Americans in the semifinals. So you got Sabalenka, you got Gauff, and you got Keys. Now comes to the last one, and this is the one which is going to be a little tough from an American standpoint. Emma Navarro playing against the world number 2 right now, Swiatek. Navarro did have some very tough matches. She did play Casatina in the fourth round, had a very tough match. I mean, I definitely thought watching that game that Navarro was going to lose the game because I think that's the way it seemed. But then credit to Navarro, she battled. Same thing, she played another three-setter against Ons Jabeur, who's not ranked anymore, but Wimbledon finalist Ons Jabeur, and Navarro won another three-setter. And then she had to beat Wang, another three-setter, and then she beat Stearns. So interestingly, when you look at it, Navarro has actually played all four three-setters. And that's actually going to be when you play against someone like Iga, and Iga has, like I said, Iga has been playing lights out. And I know French is our favorite surface. She beat the German Lice 6-0, 6-1. She beat Raducanu 6-1, 6-0. She beat Shamkova 6-0, 6-2. And then the only person in the first round she gave up 3 and 4 was against Siniakova. So there you go. She has literally given up 4 games in the last 3 matches. And that is very hard to do. And then on the way, a lot of bagels. So that's something, her signature style. I mean, she has bageled her last 3 opponents. So coming to this match between Navarro, will Navarro be able to sustain it? I mean, having played 4 three-setters playing against Swiatek, that's going to be a very tall task in my mind. And I feel that while I'm definitely rooting for Navarro to move on to the semifinal, that would put 3 American women in the semifinal, according to my prediction. And I do think that that's going to be a incredible thing for American tennis. But I do feel that Swiatek has little edge because based on the fact that she's not played many long matches, unlike Navarro. But it'll be cool to see three Americans. But anyway, I think it's going to be Swiatek, Keys, Sabalenka, Goff, and that's the way it's going to be. My prediction. So with that, we wrap it up, and looking forward to these matches on both on the women's side and the men's side. Thanks again for listening. Have a good rest of the day.